All right, YouTube, and welcome back to a new review for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. This time, the last one. I won't do a separate video for the last episode and the show itself. I will do a like the review of the last episode first, and then one for the show itself during the same video. I just separated a bit. I don't know. I don't really write these things. I don't plan anything out really. I just blur everything that comes into my mind. So before I start, you can watch my reaction to this episode as well as the rest of the show essentially on Patreon right now for €5 a month. Um, Uncut, uncensored, picture in picture. You don't have to sync with your own version. Um, okay. So first off, I I did get hit a little by the show at the end during the last, I'd say like last minute, basically during the entire song at the end, the entire sequence with the song, I did get hit by the show, and it was probably a combination of the song and the images. I didn't show it much during the reaction. I don't think so, at least, um, because I didn't like I stopped talking basically um, until the episode was over. Um, I feel like I have to start off with my big issue with this episode because I have one massive issue, like a really big metallic cyborg fucking big hunk of metal issue called Adam Smasher. I feel like it's cheating. Honestly, like when I saw him enter the fight, I mean, when I saw Arasaka Counter Intel mention that they were going to send him, I immediately uh, jumped to the conclusion that it was bullshit. You can't bring a character like Adam fucking Smasher into the whole situation and not expecting it to be bullshit, because then every possible chance was out of the window. If he wasn't there, there would have possibly been maybe a chance or two for things to end in a better way. When they had to throw in a damn fucking Smasher and make him drop right on Rebecca, which I call bullshit. I mean, like I did predict that she would die in a blaze of glory, but not against not against this guy. I already got his comeuppance. At least I can be happy with that. I was expecting him to die. I was also expecting him to betray Kiwi, and he did. The show delivered. I knew that Faraday was gonna screw over Kiwi, and Arasaka was gonna screw over Faraday. Glad to see that now he's just jelly, or like whatever you want to compare him with. Gonna be hard to scrape that off the floor. But yeah, uh, Falco kept during the last two episodes kept um switching, like my idea of his fate kept switching in my brain, and I did not read him properly until the end, because I saw him first as a character that was written to survive the entire ordeal because he was smart. He wasn't that hard into the whole uh, fighting thing. He was merely as a driver. So at first I saw him as a character written to survive, simply to survive. when I saw him as a character that was possibly written to die because he decided to stay with the team and raid Arasaka Tower. And hmm, but I had not I should have been able to read that because he was a driver, that he would be a means of escape and he would be able to survive that way with another character. Lucy is the fate that I wasn't sure of because it was either she survived on her own or like she died with David. She chose to stay with David and died with him. And yep, she ended up surviving, which I'm glad, of course. Um, I'm absolutely glad that she did, and she made her dream of she had her dream of going to the moon fulfilled. But yeah, most of the team was lost during this entire show, and hang on, talking. I want to talk more about the episode first. The visuals. There was something I need to find like back again regarding the visuals. Yes, the whole thing with like when they're driving in the streets and you got that suddenly that sequence of just David walking through an empty city because he's losing it, and you get that absolutely fantastic transition of him in the middle of a crossroad. It starts off during the day. It switches to night, like after a few seconds, and you finally see some cars again. He's still in the middle of that street, and then their car arrives and feels like it's smashing into him, but it's actually phasing through him. It just disappears and goes back into the car essentially. And that was a transition that I found absolutely fantastic. I don't like to me that is like that was some great bit of cinematography in here in just that shot. I mean, technically the entire sequence also felt really like you can really feel because you feel confused when these moments happen. So you can feel exactly what David is feeling through his mind and the whole confusion and stuff, his memories blending in, losing grip with reality and getting lost into his own mind essentially. I want to check something before I talk more about it. Um, so hang on. Faraday gets picked up by the trauma team, and hang on. David activates his thing, kills the trauma team, and gets like Lucy. And Faraday is just thrown out of the building. It's not shown whether or not. So I don't think. Okay, hang on. I need to like just watch it frame by frame. Yeah, I don't think the like counter intel gag that was meant to take the blame actually died um in that hangar. I wasn't sure because I was basically like counting the dead people in my head because I said during the last review that Arasaka counter intel would probably be the winners in the end, which in a way they are, even if they have to cover for it. But yes, yeah, I think I've covered everything in that episode. I did check also at the end of the reaction, because I was wondering, of course, since we got surviving members of the team, I had to check online regarding the game. Now I can do it because I don't have any. risk of being spoiled about something that I wouldn't want to be spoiled about. It's something that I wanted to know, and I'm glad that there is a side quest that you can get in which you end up being contacted by Falco, and he gives you coordinates to retrieve Davy's jacket. So I'm glad that Falco is at in some part in the game, even if it's just a short side quest. And Lucy, apparently the one who, according to the wiki, um, she's the one who wrote the epitaph on her friends' niches found at the north of Columbarium, as well as David's mother. So yeah, I haven't found these places in game because I haven't played the game since I started watching the show. Also, I learned by browsing through the internet that apparently there's a tabletop RPG game that came first about that universe. I didn't know at all. And Adam Smasher is in it. But yeah, um, and yeah, because I checked about more information like that, finally got a date for the like when the show takes place. It's basically a year before the events of the game because it did feel like the characters that are kind of both in the game and in the show seem to be around the same age, like Rogue, for example, when we saw her briefly. But yes, I think I'm done with what I wanted to say about the episode itself. Uh, like a great moments of cinematography. When I say like great action shots, they saved a lot of budget for this episode, didn't they? And it was done in a great way for a last episode of a season. I feel like, and a last episode of a story essentially. Since apparently season two will be another like a new cast, um, which makes sense. So the show itself now, I feel like there is one thing that this show lacks, in my opinion: runtime. 10 episodes is too short. You can't get attached to everyone during that short time, and the episodes go at such a fast pace that you can't really stay focused and attached to anything in particular. Like there's that the whole it feels like the whole David and Lucy subplot got drowned into everything else. Like everything got basically it's a chaotic mix of a lot of different plot points, like plots rather that were kind of crushed together in a time that felt way too short. It feels like the show could have a lot could have had a lot to gain by being a bit longer or by having a few less subplots because I didn't get enough time to get attached to Peter, so his death was, well, we lost a member of the team. That's Night City. What can you do? Um Main and Dorio, I feel like didn't have enough focus put on them. They had some focus put on them in like the episode right before they died and the episode that they died. So so I don't know, like it felt like there wasn't enough to learn about them either. didn't even get the time to get their personalities properly. Kiwi's betrayal comes out of left field, like completely, because we didn't get the time to learn more about her motivations, stuff like that. We barely get got to know anything about her. All we knew about her is that she's the one who brought Lucy into the group, and then she decides to betray Lucy and work with Faraday and makes stupid decisions that even she was questioning. Like even she wasn't sure of what she was doing. Um, Rebecca, we saw like little of her, and she was the one that seemed to have the most vibrant personality of the bunch. Definitely. Um, so there was a strong emphasis on her actually regarding all of that compared to the rest of the characters. David, of course, was our main boy, but like we basically saw him jump around all over the place, roaming up between episodes, losing it little by little, but we didn't see more than like we didn't see enough. I would have liked the show way more if we had seen more stuff. As I was saying, it was too crammed. Falco, we barely got to see him. I mean, we saw him a lot during these last two episodes, but before that, he was barely a like m- almost a background character. I don't know, like it feels like they didn't focus enough on the characters that mattered, and they just wanted to tell too many stories at once. The whole David and Lucy plot, the Arasaka plot, the Militech, like Faraday, all of that. There was too much happening at once, and every other episode was um like another gig that they had to take care of as well. The whole Tanaka thing felt too quick. Everything felt too quick. I guess that's a bit on par with Night City, of course. Like life goes on, and sometimes it goes on really quick, and your life can change that quicker than you can think about it. But I don't know. It feels like they could have gone for an extra few episodes, maybe four or five more, to extend about a few characters, and they could have gone at a slower pace, and then I would have gotten actually more attached to the group. I didn't get that attached to the group at all, and maybe it's just because I usually not a fan of that kind of a genre, like the cyberpunk genre. That's not my thing. Usually, I don't like that kind of setting. I don't know, too much technology. But yeah, like I don't know. The show was still enjoyable. It was still like it made me feel like a story set in the game, in the same world as the game. Definitely, they got that right. But yeah, it almost feels like they rushed the plot and they rushed the ending even more. Getting Adam Smasher in there was basically a cheat code and to end the series. They could have gone like they could have removed Adam Smasher from the equation, have them save Lucy, and have a couple more episodes of trying to escape Arasaka, while Lucy tries to save David. Of course, like Night City, everything doesn't necessarily end right and well. Uh, Not every story ends well, and mercs makes their name by the way they die. But still, I don't know. I mean, usually I'm not one to try and imagine what could have been done better. I'm more one that want to take what was given to me and then decide based on that what I think about things. And yeah, like it was a good show, definitely. Um, but yeah, I think it could have gained a lot from being a bit longer. Which I don't know if the short runtime was um due to what happened with the launch of the game, or if they had like because I don't know if it was launched at the same time as the game or prior to it or after it. So I don't know which influenced which. Maybe they had some split budget regarding the show and the game. Um, so I don't know if there was any reason for them not to do any more. I mean, more episodes than they did, or if it was something else. And there are a lot of loose ends as well that didn't get tied up properly. There are a few loose ends that didn't get tied up. Um, but yeah, maybe they will be talked about more in the next season, I guess, possibly. But yeah, like there was basically the show was written for our entire cast to be to like drive straight into a wall. Two of them managed to find a door to escape, but like for the rest, it was written. I mean, technically, Rebecca could have survived once again without if it wasn't for that guy. Like she definitely could have survived all of this. Mm. Like her death felt also cheated in a way because they just say, "Oh, we have Adam Smasher with us. We can send him," and suddenly he drops down on them, and boom, boom, she died. Like what the fuck? I mean, technically, I guess Pillar's death was also pretty quick. And I did wonder as well. I want to check one thing. If it's in the wiki, I cannot tell. Um, Minor characters. Um, I mean, I don't even know if it's. Is it Kate? Yes, Kate. I want to check that just one thing about her because I did wonder something while I was watching it. Uh, okay, yeah, no, no, there's no, there's nothing more about her. Let me check about the game itself for what I'm looking for. Is it in the same wiki? So we got Edgerunners 2077. Can I see? Can I see something about characters in the game? The wiki is not that easy to scour. Um, okay, maybe here. Video game. Um, wait. Apparently, there's a Cyberpunk 2. Oh yeah, Project Orion. I think I had heard about that. It's in pre-production. Um, I want to find like a list of characters is what I want to find, and apparently the wiki doesn't have that, which is weird because you would expect the wiki for the game to have characters. Um, Corpo. Maybe if I check Corpo. No. Maybe if I check Arasaka. Arasaka. Notable employees. List of Arasaka employees. Let me check. 2077. Okay, yeah, no, it's Susan Abernathy. Uh, yep. So it's not Kate, the one that we see in the show. Because I was wondering if she was the same person as the one who fires V at the start of the game when you choose the corporate route. But yeah, no, apparently no. Um, Sorry about that. I really wanted to check. Okay. I guess that's that then. I guess I'm done with Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and anything Cyberpunk related for the time being. I don't know if I'm gonna want to watch the second season. I'm going to be honest. It will depend on, like, I will wait to hear from friends of mine who I'm sure will check it out because it was. I said it when I started reacting to the show. It was highly recommended to me by friends. It's the entire reason why I got the game because I wanted to immerse myself into the world of Night. Oh, sorry, of Night City before watching the show. So, like, and it was friends who said that they were like highly touched by the ending, despite that the fact that there are people who usually would not have that kind of feeling towards the show or something like this. So I was surprised to see them act that way. Um, but yeah, like I'm sure they will watch the second season when it comes out, and they will talk about it without spoiling things. Of course, like they are very adamant about that, but not spoiling. So that's really great. But for now, I don't have any plan to watch more of it. I'm gonna have to choose. I'm going to have to choose. Let me check. Hang on. I need to check my list of shows that I plan to watch on Patreon to choose my next one. I don't know if I want a long one or a short one, and I don't know if I want a new one or an old one. Let me check. Hang on. Collections. I'm gonna check with the tag animalist. Um, okay, so Cyberpunk Edgerunners is gonna be done. He is done now. Parent season 2 is ongoing, and he is soon about to be done, in about a month. Um, Apothecary Diaries is still ongoing. I could go for because we're gonna have Tensura reincarnated as a slime season 4 soon. I think April. Um, what could I go for? I don't know. Honestly, like, okay, the list of possible shows. My God, I'm going to do something here. Uh, can I? My God, I'm gonna try to do something. Okay, I'm getting the list, and I'm gonna try to show it on screen. Where is OBS? It's here. Um, what if? What if? What if? What if? Can I? Hang on. Can I open the file itself? Pictures, screen captures. Where is it? It's here. Okay. Let me. What's gonna have to do? You know what? I don't care. Okay. Uh. Ooh, it feels weird on OBS. Okay, you know it's working. I hope it's working. Okay, so I'm done with Edgerunners. I'm still going with Free Ren. I'm still going with the Apothecary Diaries. So on my list, I have Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia. Okay, let me explain. By the way, Jujutsu Kaisen, never seen anything about it aside from the meme Na Adwin and the fact that they have something called a domain expansion. That's about all I know about it. Like I think I had been spoiled in the past about some things regarding the story, but honestly, it's been so long that I've already forgotten about the spoilers. So yeah. I wasn't really interested in watching it at first. I don't know, but I kind of want to discover it. My Hero Academia. I've watched the first two or three episodes a very long time ago. Like I watched until the start of the first test, like the entrance exam to the school kind of deal. I think, but it was a long time ago. Like it was back when season three was airing or something like this. I don't know, but I didn't go past that. I don't know why. Made in Abyss. I've heard a lot about it. I mean, no, actually, no. I don't know anything about the story itself, about the setting, but I've seen screenshots of the character design, and I've heard that a lot of people love this show. I kind of want to check it out as well at some point. Soul Eater, mostly because there's a scythe wielder, and I love scythe wielders. But also because apparently it's a classic that is well liked by a lot of people. And I think I've seen a death battle with one of the main characters. Konosuba. I've only watched the first season, and technically it's the first episode of the second season, but it was a very long time ago, so I've forgotten completely about it. I haven't gone past that. I don't know why, despite the fact that I loved the first season. I mean, I was kind of weirded out by the penultimate episode, I guess, but I really love like the style, like the quality that they have for some of the shots, especially, and the premise of the show is kind of funny as well. Oh, sorry. Don't know what happened here. My mic just decided to drop on me, like on my lap, for no reason, despite the fact that it was quite stable. Solo leveling, I have absolutely not seen anything about it. I've heard a lot about it because it was everyone was talking about it, but it released at the same time as the first season of Free Run. I know there's something about giant statues because every time I would watch a reaction to the first season of Free Run, when I reached the like testing the second test, people would mention the giant statues in one of the corridor and say, "Hey, it's like solo leveling." Um, but that's basically all I know about it. I'm not even sure I know the premise exactly of this. I think it's like, doesn't it have a no? It doesn't have a subtitle. I was thinking about something else. Demon Slayer. I've watched the first two episodes a long time ago. Really love the quality of the art style, like the art style itself and the quality of it. But I didn't necessarily want to watch more of it at the time, but now I might. I know that they've done. I think from what I've heard, they've done it in two different ways. That is to say, you can watch the show, or you can watch the movies, which apparently are a shortened down version of the show, or some bullshit like that. I don't know, but I would go if it's the case. I would go for the show itself to watch episodes because I would want more details and stuff. The Reincarnated of Slime season 4 as soon as it gets out, releasing the first three seasons and almost everything else about it. So I'm kind of ready for that. One Punch Man. I've seen the first season a few times, but last time I saw it was, I guess, like 3 or 4 years ago. Um, I haven't seen the second season. I think I might have. watched the first episode of the second season once back when it first aired. Didn't go any further. I don't know why. I don't know why I do things like that, but I do that a lot. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I've watched the first episode of season two. I've watched like the entirety of season one, of course, a bunch of times. First episode of season two, I was greatly impressed by the. I remember being really impressed by the improvement in quality in the animation. I think I actually didn't go further because of the way the episode ends, with a kind of plot that I don't like to watch. Like it's a kind of subplot that I don't like to watch usually. So I decided, you know what, I don't want to see more. I don't know, my brain, once again, my brain. And the last element of the list is Oshinoko. So as I've written here, I've only seen the first episode back when it released. I've seen it like I watched it once myself, and I've watched maybe a couple reactions to it back when it first aired. I have not watched anything more than that, and I would probably need to watch the first episode again to refresh myself. I mean, for any of these, when I've already seen one episode, I would need to rewatch anyway. So that's the list I currently have. I haven't been suggested anything, and I haven't had anything else pop up in my head, so I wouldn't know anything else that I could potentially watch. But the list I'm going with, and I'm going to have to pick from that list what will replace Edgerunners. Um, I don't know the run time of any of these actually, like the length. I know Jujutsu Kaisen is in its third season, I think. Um, One Punch Man as well, Konosuba also, maybe even season four. I don't remember. Solo Leveling, I don't remember hearing about season two yet. Demon Slayer, I know has quite a few episodes. My Hero Academia has 8 seasons. Made in Abyss, I don't know at all. Solitaire is either, but I think Solitaire is a bit long, like it was old style. We want to do a lot of episodes kind of deal. Um, I don't know yet. I could go for Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid season two. Honestly, like I think I'm going to switch to that. Because it's not one that is usually picked by people to do reactions, at least nowadays. I mean, I'm talking about people who haven't seen, of course. So I kind of want to do things like that. It's one of my lists anyway, so it is absolutely something I want to watch. I'm not forcing myself for that. But yeah, I'm gonna probably switch to that. So anyway, I've rambled for way more than enough. I'm gonna end my review here. I don't even know when I will post it because I still have like two other Cyberpunk reviews and reactions to post. I haven't posted season episode 7 yet. Wait, no, episode 8. I haven't posted episode 8 yet. And I'm gonna have to record like a few Apothecary Diaries episodes, I guess, in the coming days, to prepare for when I won't be able to record. I don't even know when you will see this, but I'm going to stop it here. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next show, in another show. I don't know. Maybe I'll get suggestions or something that might interest me. Who knows? In the meantime, like, see you next time.